Well, hello, retail traders. Today I want to go over the indices and maybe a couple of stocks and how I feel about the market this coming week. And we're going to have a short week. I think we're going to have a flat green week. I'll tell you why. I'll pull up the SPY here and I'll pull up the weekly first. Now we hit a resistance again that I called earlier about a month and a half ago. This is the weekly time frame, and this is the SPY. And the SPY had a resistance level here. It's called a head and shoulders, and we run up past that head and shoulders. Then I called the pullback to the 21 off the top of this here candle. So we're gonna draw this in right here. That's resistance. Right there, and then we called support right here, and I called the reversal down here off the 200. So now we've came up and we hit that, and we pulled back and hit the 21, which was the solid support. And I suggested in my last video, a couple of them, that we were going to go sideways and create a Darvis box, and I think that's what we're going to still do. We're going to pull back, maybe hit the 9, bounce off the 9, and then see if that wants to hold. And if that doesn't hold, we'll come back down, retest support at 436 on the SPY. And the 9 right now is right here at, I'm going to say roughly at a little under 444. And that's a real good resistance now that I see this here candle right here. So I could adjust, no, I'm going to leave it right where it is. I got that wick touching it in the body of that candle. Almost the body of that, the wick, the body, the wick, and then the body. So yeah, we'll see if that holds. We're at 451. We close. We're at 450. So we have reason to come on down and see if we don't hit that 443.68 this week, and then it'll make up its mind if it wants to pull down to 436 or create the bottom of this here Darvis box to the right. But I think we're going to create a Darvis box, go sideways for another couple weeks, and then have the breakout to the upside, or even sooner. But I'm definitely thinking we're finding a support level, and we're just consolidating right now into a confirmation of a breakout of a double top. That's the SPY. Then we got the /ES. Clean this one up too. I had a head and shoulders call on this one here. We'll just leave it like it is. We had the falling wedge, and we had a rising wedge breakout. And then it pulled back to support, which was right here off this here candle. Right in there. And that's right about where we hit. Right off that 21. So this thing can do the same thing. It's either going to break resistance of 45.42 or pull back to the 9, which is right now. We're going to go ahead and draw a price line in there somewhere around perfect, right at 44.56.40. And if that doesn't hold, we can drop down to the bottom part of this here weekly time frame on these candles right here to that support level at 43.76.15. I'm going to make that red because that's going to be a very important support to hold. And then the pivot point, again, 44.56.40 with a resistance to break right around the 45.40 area. 45.56.40 is what I got. That's /ES. Then you've got the IWM. Clean that up. So we're definitely have a three-headed snake right here, and we hit resistance, which is this area right in here. We're going to draw a price line on that right there in the body of that candle. Perfect. 191.55. So if we break that, we'll definitely shoot up higher to the next resistance of 193.12. And if that doesn't hold, we'll come back to the 9 right here the 9 EMA, and that'll determine if we want to pull back or not, right around 188.30. If we do want to pull back, it'll be a solid support right there at 186, 187. Keep that in mind. If we do not hold the 9, resistance to break, these are your first three supports right here. 190.03, 188.33, and 186.93, with a resistance to break of 191.55 to 193.12. That's the IWM. So I'm thinking, we're going to go sideways in the market for a week or two, unless we go ahead and break the double top. So the next one's going to be QQQ. And that'll get you somewhat kind of bearing of the trend of the market. This one here was the toughest one to find resistance at, was the QQQ, because I had such a slanting right shoulder here. I didn't know exactly how to call it, but off this here resistance right here, and that was right at 381.70, and we've hit that again. So pull back to support level, which would be, again, we're using the weekly time frame, the bottom of that candle at 357.85 to hold, and then you've got the 9. So I'm doing it basically all the same way. I'm just creating a Darvis box to the right, calling the low, the pivot point, and the resistance to break. So for QQQ, 357.85 to hold, 369.86 pivot point off the 9, and resistance to break. We could lower this just a little bit. I'm going to the body of that candle. And we'll make that resistance at 379.70. Then we got the last one, which is the SPX, called both the bottom and the top on this one here. And we have the same scenario as a SPY. We got a sideways Darvis box. We're going to use this head and shoulders. The shoulder line is resistance. And we're going to use the bottom, the 21, and the top of this wick for support. Right in here. And we're going to use that 21 as your support level. And that's where you want to set your alert, right above that 21 on the bottom of that candle right there. So let's do this. I'm going to go ahead and draw the support channel, which is in here. And then the pivot point again is going to be that 9. Right. I'm going to say pretty close to right around there, 440.40. 44.40. Beautiful spot. I mean, it could go a little bit higher and be a tweezer right here. Let's do that. Yeah, that's going to be where the 9 is. That's going to be your pivot point, your support channel down here on SPX at 4326.81 to, it's about a 50-point spread there, 4371.52. So that's your low support. It has to hold 4371.52, and the pivot point 4449.41 with resistance to break at 454348. Yeah, I saw something interesting in Tesla. I think however the market trend is how you want to trade Tesla right now. So we do have a 1, 2, 3 right here. I'm going to clean this up. Use that body right there, run it into them two, hang it out to the right. That's going to be your first support here on the weekly time frame, right around that 210 area. We have this double triple top right here, 1, 2, 3. So that's where we're going to draw the trend line, price line, right there. 208.60 would be nice to hold right there. We're going to have a crossover, so we've got these support areas right in here, which is off that peak. That's going to be your next support level. 228 to hold. If that doesn't hold, we could drop down. I mean, yeah, I have support right here. And we'll check out the yearly. Yeah, you see this here bottom right here? So you got a gap trade. That's going to be your first support to hold. Second support right there. And then your third one right here to hold. If that doesn't hold, 228, then we have a good possibility of dropping down to the next support level, which would be that moving average. And that's the 200 EMA. And that price line's right around 224. And I got a confirmation right there. 224, perfect. Right on the dot penny, right to the penny. 224.08 for Tesla. So that's your weekly update. This is Sneaky Snake Trading Strategy, where we talk about chart patterns, moving averages, and being in the now. And right now, I think we're going to create, being in the now, we're going to create a sideways Darvis box in September for a couple of weeks, maybe just one. If they get some kind of news about, no interest rate rise, we could have a nice little pop. So that's going to be this coming week. Have a great day, retail traders.